Hey guys, what's going on? This is the first Patreon exclusive video that we're tuning into. It's going to be a rather short video. I'm actually re-recording it. I had a certain version of this presentation and I thought it was a little bit long. It was drawn out. I think I overcomplicated things. So let's go ahead and condense this into a shorter version. Now we're talking about manifesting in 2 days or less. That's right, 48 hours. Now, I'm dead serious. And we must first get that everything that we experience has to, by law, be a thought form first. We have to imagine it. And we actually think in images. Whenever I spell the word D-O-G, did you just see the image that popped up on the screen of your imagination? You see, the imaginative faculty, the imagination, the higher faculty that we've been gifted with, one of our intellectual faculties, governs how we live life. It governs all subjectivity. And you've heard me talk about in different videos that everything is subject to everything else in this universe. We live in a universe of motion and subjectivity. So what does this all mean? How does it all tie into manifesting within 2 days? I'm about to go inside here and show us on the computer what to do. Now there's an actual practical step, and all you really do is plug into the images that you want, but you're doing it intentionally, and you're also walking out on the screen of your imagination like we talked about, and you're actually walking out that reality on the screen of your mind. Now, since the mind thinks in pictures, it thinks in these images, and to prove that, let's take it a step further. Think of the word C-A-R. Maybe you don't have one. Let's try T-R-U-C-K. And what happens is we can literally, I actually wanted to change the camera angle a little bit. So whenever we spell out these words, what's happening? Our minds are actually traveling in and with the use of the imaginative faculty, the imagination. We've been gifted with this. Now, Neville Goddard, Bob Proctor, all teach this information, and there are many other people who teach this information. I'm just here to exemplify our personal power to create and co-create with the universal forces. It is through the imagination that if we can play it out in our mind's eye, there are enough examples to prove this. Now, I will start linking actual stories of people that have come out of the most chaotic situations by just visualizing on the screen of their imagination the new result. And it's actually called living in the end. And you hear this about Neville Goddard teaches this. Definitely look up Neville Goddard's material. But there's a lot of other spiritual activists and teachers who teach these exact things. But I'm here to give you the practical step. Now, this was just a foundation. This was a premise of what I'm about to show you on the computer. So let's go inside, and I'm going to show you the practical step, the practicality, what to actually do every single day. And you're going to be visualizing on the screen of your imagination while you are looking at these photos. So let's go ahead and get inside. I'm about to show you this. This is very exciting. All right, so now that we're back inside, I can actually show you the practical step that we are going to be habituating the habit and taking action on daily, really as much as you want to, in order to manifest within 2 days or less. I understand that it can be quite corny to hear that you can manifest in 2 days, but if you really plug up to the feeling and the frequency of what you want, you really can experience it, and relatively quickly. So let's go ahead and show you the practical step. Now, you are going to get on your phone. You can use any device really that has internet access. And I do apologize for any glare that might be coming through on this video. But this is what we are going to do. And we are going to habituate this habit and create it as a new part of our routine. So let's go ahead and open up our web browser. I have a little bit of Ori action. It's actually a video game, one of my favorite video games ever. And I know it sounds pretty nerd-like, but this game really is about a lost spirit or soul finding its way through the darkness. It's quite cool. You might want to check out some of the music that Ori has to offer. But here we go. So you want to pull up your web browser and actually type in unsplash.com. And Unsplash is actually a source of multiple different free usable images, as it says right here. And you're just going to go to unsplash.com and you're going to type in whatever you're wanting and desiring to manifest. And I know this sounds way too easy. You know, everything has to be so complicated today. Think about that. You know, if we are manifesting something, there has to be like 12 steps. You know, there has to be like 16, 20 different steps in order to really fully bridge the gap. But I'm telling you today that if you actually do this method, this practical step here, and you make a actual practice of it, and I'm talking about whenever you're driving to the store, you know, have Unsplash popped up on your phone while you're walking through the grocery store, or whenever you're at work or something like that, and continue reviewing whatever you're wanting to manifest. So I've been personally trying to manifest a new lover, and this is actually pretty recent, so I have not manifested it yet. I'll have to come back and tell the story here on Patreon. But what I would do is I would type in whatever I want to experience. And what I have actually been typing in is pictures of beautiful women or a beautiful woman. And all these are free images, and you can actually use them in different videos if you're looking for stock images. That's what I love about unsplash.com. But the goal here, remember, is to harmonize with these photos. And to take it to the next level, what I do is actually scroll through these photos, and I make this a daily habit. And I'm telling you, I'm starting to see some crazy things as I go out into public, because the work begins here, right? And then you take this knowledge and you take these images, and these images actually work on your subconscious mind. Because see, you know how we talked about we think in images? These all begin working on our subconscious mind. Whatever you are wanting to experience yourself. Now, if you want to manifest a certain car, like if you wanted to manifest a Mustang, or if you wanted to manifest anything, man, like you could manifest whatever your heart desires, you would start to type those images in on Unsplash. And whatever you want to be more specific about it, you know, that's okay too. It's actually really good. I advise that you go to Dollar General or Target and buy a notebook that you can actually write down. Now my notebooks are in the back here on the table, but if I want to be like super specific about something and I'm really trying to manifest like hardcore, I actually scroll through these images while writing down. I'll actually write down on a notebook over here specific details that I also want to incorporate. Because let's go back to the, you know, beautiful women example, the thing that I'm trying to manifest, like a new lover. Now, you would say initially that, Mike, isn't this a little bit shallow? No, because this is how manifesting actually works. You see, the physical dimension is nothing more than a fuller expression of who we are and what we already are. That's all it is. It's just an addition. You know, a lot of times people say, well, that's shallow, because think about it. We operate with our senses. We operate by what we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. See, I believe that we came here to actually smell what certain smells, like these candles burning, to actually smell the smell, to actually feel the physicality of the sunlight, you know, beaming in through the window. You know, if you have just bought a new computer or something, you know, it's feeling the keys. It's actually, the idea here is experiencing a fuller expression of these frequencies, because we talked about it. Everything is frequencies. Anything that we see, that's a certain frequency. Some things we might not like that we see, and those are certain frequencies as well. Some of these frequencies we are in harmony with, and then other frequencies we are not in harmony with. Now, what we're wanting to do is scroll through the images of whatever we're wanting to experience. I've also typed in couples. Now, I started seeing couples left and right after I started typing in couples, and then I said, well, I don't want to see couples. I want to see something more specific, like what do I actually want out of a soulmate and the person that I'm trying to manifest like my new lover. And this is why you want to also write down the traits and qualities, because it's not just about the physical appearance, but this is how our mind works initially. And remember, we talked about our mind works in images. So this is an absolute must. We must understand this. All right, so say that you are a woman watching this and you are wanting to manifest money or a handsome man. That's what you're going to type in. You're going to find images of wealth that resonate with you personally. It's going to be different for everybody, but I really like this image, and you can click on the image and actually blow it up and zoom in on it to where there really is, like, it's almost like you're actually holding whatever you're experiencing, and you're moving through your senses on the screen of your imagination. You're actually moving through what it is like to actually have this. And what happens is something incredible. What happens is you begin going out in a public, and then you start seeing the manifestations. I totally understand this stuff can sound superficial, but this is how the mind works, and it's a non-negotiable law of the universe. What we imagine, we experience the most. What we imagine expands in our lives, and that's an absolute law. And really, what we imagine is based on vibration. So using another example here, if you are a woman wanting to manifest a handsome man, you're going to type that in. And you are going to write down the traits and qualities of this guy and get a visual. Now, you're not just going to stumble on one image, but you are going to scroll through many images, and you're going to just fill your consciousness and fill your imaginative faculty with all of these different images, and you will start attracting what you plug into the most. Everything's frequency. We become what we think about. All of the great teachers and spiritual activists of all time and great philosophers have known these laws of the universe to be true. So if you're a woman wanting to attract a man, you're going to write down and list the traits and qualities. You know, what kind of character do you want this guy to have? You know, you want him to be honest. You probably want him to be financially well off. You want him to be charming. You want him to be sexually appealing, things like that. And also, I'm just using this as an example. You want to scroll through all the images and literally live out. You want to walk out on the screen of your imagination actually being there with this guy or whoever guy that you choose. You want to actually walk out on the screen of your imagination having wealth, having abundance. And you can type in wealth and it shows you different options here. And I don't know what this image is. That's kind of funny. But here's the idea. Like, wealth could mean different things for you. Like, I'll show you what wealth actually means to me. Now, one day I plan to manifest my own dream ocean home. So I type in ocean home. And I get to surround my consciousness and my imagination with these images. And like images attract like images. So the more you plug into these frequencies, the more you will begin attracting circumstances, people, places, things that match and align with whatever frequency you're plugging into. This is an absolute law. So it's really just this simple, is scrolling through images, making a daily habit and practice of doing this. And if you do this properly and on a regular basis and you feel, the key is feeling. You really have to walk out on the screen of your imagination, you know, being here. It can't just be like a surface level materiality thing. You have to literally walk out on the screen of your imagination, you know, what it's like to actually walk on the ocean. And that's the key. Now, I did want to go back one more time and elaborate on one more thing here with one of my recent manifestations, something I'm trying to manifest here. Now, I'm going to write down the traits and qualities, and I'm actually going to blow up one of these images, and on the screen of my imagination, I'm actually living this part. I'm actually going in, and one thing that you can use that I always use is go to YouTube, or you can use an iPod, or you can use your iPhone, or whatever you listen to music on, and actually plug into a song that you absolutely love. And you're actually scrolling through these images, finding whatever scenario that you want to experience, and you are literally walking out on the screen of your imagination. Now, this is just a tool to help you, but this is all you do. And guaranteed within about a week, you are going to start, really a week or less, I would say about 2 days, two to 3 days, you will begin attracting people like this. Whatever you plug into the most, you expand that in your life. That is the law of attraction. The law of vibration says that everything vibrates, nothing rests. The more you move towards something, the more it expands in your life. It's an absolute law. You must understand these laws of the universe and then apply them. And then listen to music. And if you're trying to manifest the money, listen to a great song while scrolling through the images. The song gets your rhythm going. That gets the frequency and amplifies it further, which means that the manifestation is going to occur even faster. You are quite literally traveling whenever you're manifesting. You are traveling to what? To certain frequencies that you're wishing to experience. We are always so caught up on our problems. We're always so caught up on our, like, who does this? Like, who actually scrolls through images of, like, it can't be this simple. It is this simple. It really is. And I can attest to this, and you can too, as you begin applying this practical step here of going on Unsplash, and you're actually looking up whatever images and you're picturing yourself, you know, what does this feel like? Because our body and our subconscious mind only operates on feeling. That's why it's not shallow. And I'm telling you, you're going to write down the traits and characteristics that you want, because I don't want just a woman. I want a woman who is intelligent, who is awake, who understands the laws of the universe, who is into psychology. You know, I want a woman who is very empathic, who is very respectful, very kind. You know, I have a whole list that I want in a woman and in a lover. So you want to be definite on that. Definitely be definite on that. You don't want to attract just anything, because then they could turn out to be very rude. It could be a toxic situation. Get definite, have that list by you, listen to music, and scroll through whatever you're wanting to experience. If you're a woman watching this, you're going to scroll through handsome photos of men. If you're wanting to attract a soulmate or lover who is a man, or whoever you're into, you guys know what I'm saying. Again, the whole idea and principle behind this is that whatever we plug into the most, by law, expands in our existence, and it expands in our lives. And that's a law of the universe. Whatever we focus on the most in our consciousness actually forms images that are surrounding this, and it returns to us. Whatever we're radiating and plugging into frequency-wise, which is feeling, whatever we feel the most, like, you want to choose images that feel good to you. If the image doesn't feel good, you have to keep scrolling through images that feel good. Now, I typed in wealth. This is another example. But whatever it is for you, whatever, and it's going to mean different things for you than it is for me. You know, it might not mean cars, money, and sex and different things like that for you. It's whatever you're trying to manifest personally. It could be any car. It doesn't have to, that doesn't define wealth. You know, you define your own success. You decide what you want to manifest. So guys, before I end off this video, I just want to thank you all for checking out this Patreon exclusive video. We will be receiving a lot more content similar to this. This is just a manifesting tool that has very much worked for me. These are absolute laws of the universe. Whatever we plug into visually on the screen of our mind, on the screen of our imagination, is actually objectified on the screen of space, which basically means that whatever we picture, we actually experience that. It's really that simple. Just get on unsplash.com and make a habit of it, and that this will change your life. I want you to come back to this video and comment on this post, and I want you to come back, and I want you to tell me all of the magic and miracle that has happened in your life, because this is all based in truth. We truly do become what we think about and what we feel. Just remember, everything's frequency, so we must surround ourselves with what feels good, like at least 60% of the time. And then those things will begin to materialize. We will begin to build a consciousness of it, and then those things will begin objectifying in our walking, waking reality. So I'm really hoping you give this Unsplash thing a try. Listen to music while you're doing it, and on the screen of your imagination, you're actually, what does it feel like to feel this person? What does it truly, what's the experience? What's the essence of the experience that I'm trying to experience here looking at the images? So if you enjoyed this, definitely give it a like and consider sharing it. Tell somebody about it. This is so simple, yet so misunderstood. That's all we have to do. And just make a habit of plugging into the good frequencies more than you do the bad frequencies. That's really just it. It's really that simple. It's going to change your life.